Hello everybody! We are going on a full garden tour today. It is early November and the weather is beautiful, hardly even feels like fall. We are starting today here at the north end of my house, looking off into the woods because it is leaf season, yay! Come and join me. It is very windy today, so if I have to do this as a voiceover later, I apologize. So here we are at the back end of the property. This is the woods. We have right over here my compost pile. And you can see the leaves are down. No more leaves in the trees. They are all on my lawn. I'll be working to clean that up soon. Crunch, crunch. This is a dogwood. It's got very nice color right now. Behind it we have a burning bush. It has very nice fall color, but it's going to come out anyway because I don't want the woods to be full of these. This is a red bud. It's already lost most of its leaves. And we have down here another small dogwood. If I'm not mistaken, there is another dogwood somewhere. We have another dogwood here. You can see it is. Here is our grand old maple settling in for the winter. And the woods in the back are just as pretty as ever. Got a lot of sticks and stumps to remove. These have actually been here for a couple of years now. Gotta get that done. Recently we put in this Japanese maple. Let's see if I can get it focused. There we go. This Japanese maple down here is a very small tree. And this one that we just put in will be a larger tree, sort of a small to medium-sized tree, but not a dwarf. This is another burning bush that will eventually be coming out. I think I might like to put some, some quaking aspen and some sumac over there. I think that would be really lovely. Sumac will have that same color, and the quaking aspen has those beautiful fluttering leaves and a very nice yellow color in the fall. And here's the yard in the front. Get some decent shade from these very tall evergreens and is in need of some mowing and leaf mulching. You can see that we still have some logs, sticks, kindling for our wood fire to clean up. This is a very beautiful, mature Norway spruce. If I let you look up at it, oh, it is just... I look out my front window every day and I can see this thing. It's such a moody looking tree. I really enjoy it. Here behind it, this is a blue spruce. It's not doing so well with the needle cast disease. And we had another blue spruce here, but it cracked, so we had it taken out. We're standing in the shade of the crabapple, and if I can just show you all of the apples there are to harvest. Lots of red ones to pick now, lots of yellow ones to pick soon. You want to get these red ones like this. It's nice to wait until after a frost. They get a little bit more sweet after a frost. I love how wild crabapple trees are. Now I've already done one harvest and I'll have to do another soon. Color on the leaves is just so nice. And yes, you can see we do have a little bit of, this is cedar apple rust. We do have cedar trees all around, nothing we can do about that. I find that for the most part it doesn't bother the jelly. She's a lovely tree. And farther down here, this is the front triangle where ultimately I'll have some fruit trees. And you can see now that the leaves are down, we've got a bit of a view of the reservoir from above our house. And I finally mowed all of this area. Look at that, look how pretty. I've been trying to figure out and sort out how I want to organize paths and garden beds in this area. I do know that over here underneath this large sugar maple, I'm going to have a garden bed because it doesn't get a lot of sun. This is very shady. And this is a blueberry, actually. We'll eventually move it somewhere where it gets more sun, but it still has very pretty leaf color. Look at that. And it makes some blueberries, but not as many as I'd like. Sugar maple. You can see there's a red cedar behind it. And beyond that is an apple. And there's our crab apple. If I come down here, this bed is where I have planted the showy goldenrod and the common milkweed. The milkweed has died back for the fall, but the goldenrod is still developing roots and cruising right along. I have laid down a layer of leaves for mulch here. I'm sure they'll blow around, but I didn't even mulch them up really. But that'll help protect these bushes during the winter and kill back the grass where I don't want to have to mow it. So here we are, front quadrant. If you have any ideas for what you think I should do in terms of pathways or garden beds, up underneath these are going to be fruit trees all in here. Actually, I would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave a comment down below. Here we are at the west end of our street frontage. Here's our driveway, looking up to the dry shade gardens. Here's the hell spot. Let's look at how our eastern prickly pear cactus is faring. It's starting to wind down for the winter, but it is super happy in this location. I did some careful weeding among the paddles and used some grass mulch to keep the weeds down. Most other things here have gone over. Now checking on the spotted bee balm and mountain mint seedlings. Working on growing roots, I think. This is a white cedar here and a red cedar there. They camouflaged the power pole well. Right outside the drip line of the white cedar, I have a few seedlings to check on. It's a foxglove, it's a calico aster, scented goldenrod, shrubby St. John's wort. There's also a wild senna, but it has gone dormant already for the winter. This is the elderberry here in the corner. And this is the long street bed. Lots of things have died back. Lots of things are still working on their roots. Here's another calico aster cruising along. I've taken the leaves that fall down from the maple tree that's off screen on the left and used them as mulch. Again, I've just piled up the leaves, which isn't the greatest, but it'll do for now. And I'll turn up the path here. And here's a look back down the street from the east corner down to the west. Okay, here we are in the garden, the veg garden. This is my garlic bed, nicely covered and ready for winter. You can see some of the garlic is putting up some shoots. That's good. Another one here. And then I've added some garlic down here. I'll walk over there in a moment for you. Still need to cover that. We've had a couple of frosts, but you can see these pepper plants, they're still growing. They're not putting out any peppers. I harvested all of those. And the cosmos are still going, which is really nice. I will clean these beds up as I get to them. They're not top priority. Down here on this side I have some garlic planted here in 3 rows. These 2 rows where nothing was planted. And then here I have another 2 rows, 1, 2, with garlic, and I still need to cover those with mulch. I just put those in the other day, so none of them are up yet. The marigolds are still loving life. And the cosmos are still very happy. Over here we have leeks. There's my sunflower. Put it in late, it didn't grow very tall. But here we have leeks. And in the middle are some beets that I've planted. They're working their way. Some of these leeks I'll start harvesting soon. Raspberries. My kid already ate all of the raspberries off of this morning. But they are indeed still producing. Look at that. Early November. Okay, I still have some bunch onions. And mostly this bed is just waiting for me to get it over. I still have some tomato stalks up. I've already harvested all those tomatoes. Just haven't cut them back yet. But this bed I did. I cut this one back, cleaned it up. Still need to take down the trellis. Over here I have midgets. These are small cherry tomatoes. And you can see I still have flowers. And if I can find some, they're actually still making tomatoes, which I can't even believe it. Yes. We did have 2 frosts, and back to back, and I harvested most of everything, but some of these are new since the frost. Just putting out new ones. You can see it does have some damage. This one here really did have some frost damage. Down here, this is one of 2 pumpkins that I left before the frost. I'll show you the other one. This one's about ready to harvest. You can see its leaves are dying back, and the tendril here has gone brown and dried up. That means that this is pretty much ready to go. I can do the fingernail test. It's pretty firm. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll probably come out and pick that one shortly. So here we are at my stairs off the side of my garage, and we are going to head down the wall today. You can see we got some new torches, luminaries. It's very, very fun. The hydrangea has a really nice color on it. I love the green on the inside and the red on the tips. You can see that most things have started to go. This patch, one of my chores this month, this patch here this is Monarda. I'm going to move over to the other side of the rock over there. It's one of the things that I have to do. You'll see here, chipmunk has made a new entrance to its home. Fun times. Most plants have gone over. I need to cut back the burning bush. Sage, I've got some sage on here I can harvest. The knockout rose is loving it though. I've got some more petals that I can harvest. They just smell lovely even now. And here is my Virginia rose, which I need to do a little bit of fall pruning. See, it is not going to bear very well, that one branch, so I'll prune it back. Here, from this angle, you can see that the peonies did not like the frost. Here are the peonies. And I will be ready to cut them back, as well as this rose campion, which is still trying to produce some buds. You can see a little pink flower over there. Things in here are still looking green and lush. There's my bone set, as we travel down, some things have gone over. This is this year's steeple bush. Down here, this is the blue lobelia I planted, putting on a little bit of size. I come down here and uncover it every once in a while. But most things are going over. Red columbine is having a little bit of a resurgence of leaves, which is very nice. It's a really pretty, their shape and their color, they're very beautiful. Farther down the wall, we have scented geraniums and wild strawberries and stone steps that go up to this next area. I want to show you this right here. This is sheep sorrel. It is actually really tasty. I'm gonna taste some for you. It's lemony. It's like a lemon spinach. Really bold flavor this time of year. The flavor's a little lighter in the spring, but it tastes a lot like yellow sorrel or wood sorrel. That is pretty common to find. You can see it does like to spread. So I've been working on pulling it out a little bit at a time. I did a bunch this spring, and I have clearly more to do. But it's quite tasty. It is a fairly common lawn weed, quote unquote. But if you don't spray your lawn and you find it in your lawn, it is a very tasty salad green. Don't take my word for that though. Do your own research in books and experts on the internet. All right, I have a lot of space in here for some larger things. I really want to put like a shrub in here and down there. I just haven't done a whole lot with this section. Got a lot of promise. Okay, so here's some echinacea. And this is spotted bee balm, or spotted bee balm, and that is lavender bee balm. These are the milkweed stems. That one has a really, really nice spider web on it. These milkweed stems, I think I'm going to try to collect this year, these ones, and see if I can make twine. Apparently they have a pretty good fiber for making rope and twine, so I'm going to try that out. And up there, on the tip of my fingernail, that is an agastache. We've got some, it's a grape hyacinth. They have really grassy foliage. They kind of hang around. And back behind them, I have some more echinacea. There's one leaf. Lots of things to clean up down here. But the other thing I planted down here is this mountain mint. It seems to be doing nicely. And the other is the other Virginia rose. So this is a saucer magnolia. I would love to have in front of it a sweet bay magnolia. I think those would look very nice. Right in here, it already gets some shade. This will be the path up through here. It'll feel nice and secluded as you walk through. Still lots of garden tending to do. This is the other side. We were on the other side of the wall earlier. Just give you a quick scan. You can really see peonies they're done. I'm gonna clip them back. I moved this last fall. I think this is a little blue stem grass. It really enjoys it right here. This is the spot where I'm going to put the lavender bee balm. And you see the autumn joy sedum is pretty much done. Still looks pretty in this color. Violets are dying back. Lots of grass to pull. On the other side of the steps, I have my A-frame with the tomatoes that I randomly stuck over here, and I didn't harvest any tomatoes out of here. It's taking care of itself. And this is the cut leaf coneflower, which is pretty much done. I'll cut it back out of the path, but mostly I'm going to leave it. It does still have some blooms on it. Here's the front lawn in need of a nice cutting. Let's go around to the back of the house. So out here right outside the garage, I have my volunteer avocado. I found this growing in my compost heap, and I pulled it out and potted it up, took it inside last winter. Here's a pot I need to clear out. I also took these peppers that were in bags, and when we had those 2 nights of frost, I pulled the peppers in to the garage and then brought them back out again, and they are just still chugging along. These ones are getting some color on it. I'll take you over here. Have some compost solarizing in bags. That's an experiment that may or may not have worked. And these are some of the pepper plants that I'm going to bring inside. I've obviously already pruned them. I just need to give them new soil and bring them in. I even still have some basil. Look at that. It is not loving life, but it is still there. These are ceramic roof tiles that I picked up free cycle style. And I have a ton of them, and I'm not going to use them on my roof. I am going to use them either as garden bed edging or something else. If you have any ideas what you think I should do with them, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas. They have this really nice curved edge on the front, and they interlock. My idea was for raised beds. We'll see. Coming back over here to the path, you can see here, this is my chocolate mint patch, and I have cut it back and taken it inside, and it is dried and ready to go into jars for tea. I'll try to bring you along with that. This is my peppermint patch, which I may be able to get another harvest of before the year is out. Now the luminary, this is the woolly thyme. I just love this. It's so soft and fuzzy. And look at this. I just love this. It is a giant unruly bush. You can see I've got been cleaning up some pots and things here. I am going to take this and divide it along with the other one and maybe prune it in early spring so it doesn't get quite so big. But look, I need to clip some of these and take them inside. Some more. They get this really, as they start to fade, they start to turn this purple. Oh, it's just so pretty. It's just foliage for much of the year, but it really does put on a nice show. All right, here are my nursery tables. Not much left on them. These pots are waiting to get emptied and cleaned and reset. This table, as you can see, is rusted. It was already rusted when I got it for free off my local buy nothing / recycle group. So I'm going to, as one of my fall projects, scrape it down and give it a nice spray coat with Rust-Oleum. And then this is what I use to winter sow. I set my seeds out here for winter sowing, and I'll take you through when we do that in December. We have lettuce. Yay! Okay, this is an Asian green. It's actually a brassica. You can see it gets munched on like brassicas do. And this is an arugula. I just harvested a bunch of it for my sandwiches for lunch. This is a mint lettuce. It's kind of a romaine type. I harvested a bunch of that for my sandwich too. And these are 2 butter lettuces, here and here. And they are coming on. I do cut and come again. Okay, this is the very northeastern corner of my property. It's a bit of a triangle from behind this wall here over to this Norway maple, and then along the fence line back that way. It's currently an unused triangle that we will ultimately use. As you can see, it's got some wild things going on back here. Some invasives, like that's Bittersweet there, and some natives, like we've got, I believe that's Canada goldenrod, and there's a poke back there, some native plants and some brambles. There's also a load of poison ivy in here, and some English ivy as well, and a nice rock pile, so lots of very heavy rocks to do things with. There is a lot of promise back here. All right, and with that, we are back around to the back. So that is my November full garden tour. I'll see you for another garden tour in December. I may not do the same kind of thing where we look at all the plants for December, because there won't be much to look at really. What I'm gonna do for the December tour is to talk about the trees in certain locations, as well as what the environment is like in those particular locations. I think it'll be nice. It'll be a nice project to look at as I take stock of what my yard is like, so I can plan for next year. So look forward to that coming out. Anyway, I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are, and come join me in the next video.